Welcome to Future Vehicles, your go-to destination for everything on classic and futuristic automotive designs. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic vehicles ever made, one that defined an era and became a global phenomenon, the 2025 Volkswagen Type 1, better known as the Beetle. This time, our focus will be a short but immersive interior review. We're opening the doors to a timeless piece of automotive history. When you first step inside a Volkswagen Beetle, especially the early models, you're instantly transported to a different time. Simplicity was not only a design principle, it was the entire philosophy. The moment your hand touches the thin chrome door handle, you're introduced to a minimalist world where function took precedence over luxury. The door shuts with a solid, mechanical clunk. No soft close gimmicks here, just pure 20th century engineering. The dashboard, perhaps the most distinctive interior element of the original Beetle, reflects the car's utilitarian roots. It's flat, painted in the same color as the car's exterior, and it features a very limited number of instruments. On early models, you'll find a singular, centrally located speedometer. That's it. No tachometer, no fuel gauge in some of the earliest versions, not even a temperature dial. This was a car meant to get people from A to B, and the interior is an honest expression of that mission. As you settle into the driver's seat, you'll notice how upright the seating position is. The thinly padded seats, typically wrapped in vinyl or cloth depending on the trim and year, sit atop simple rails. They adjust forward and backward, but that's about it. There's no lumbar support, no power adjustments, and definitely no heated cushions. But what these seats lack in modern comfort, they make up for in character. The Beetle's cabin has a kind of unpretentious charm that makes even the basic driving experience feel special. Looking around, your eyes are drawn to the oversized steering wheel. It's large, thin, and usually made of a hard plastic with a simple horn ring in the center. That big diameter wasn't just for style. It was a mechanical necessity in a car without power steering. Turning the wheel requires a bit of muscle, especially at low speeds, but there's a tactile connection to the road that modern cars often lack. It's raw, it's honest, and it makes driving the Beetle an involving experience. The gear shifter rises from the floor in a slight curve, topped with a golf ball-style knob in most variants. It clicks into gear with a satisfying mechanical feel, each motion guided by solid metal linkages underneath. The 4-speed manual transmission is part of what makes driving a Beetle such a unique experience. There's a rhythm to it, a sense of timing you develop with each drive. In the earliest models, reverse gear placement can even feel like a small puzzle, some requiring a push down before shifting, others demanding a more deliberate motion. Above your head, you'll likely find a simple fabric headliner. Over the years, the materials varied slightly, but the design remained humble. There are no map lights, no sunroof switches, and no touch-sensitive controls. If there's a dome light at all, it's activated by opening the door or flicking a tiny switch, usually mounted near the rearview mirror. That mirror itself is tiny, often rectangular, and gives just enough rearward visibility to do the job. No auto-dimming here. What you see is what you get. The ventilation system in the Beetle is another story. With the engine located at the rear, heating is achieved through heat exchangers pulling warmth from the exhaust system. It's an ingenious, if not entirely effective, setup. Twist a couple of metal levers near the floor, and hot air is supposed to flow toward the front. In reality, the effectiveness of the heating can vary greatly depending on the condition of the hoses and whether the system has been maintained. Air conditioning, of course, wasn't available in the early years, and even when it was later added, it was considered a rare luxury. Storage inside the cabin is minimal. The glove box is small, suitable for a few papers and maybe a set of gloves, hence the name. Door pockets are rare, and when present, they are shallow and not particularly practical. There's a small parcel shelf underneath the dashboard, usually made of metal mesh or fabric netting, perfect for a map or a slim notebook. In the center, there's a narrow tunnel housing the gear shifter and emergency brake, sometimes flanked by an ashtray or a simple analog clock. Sound insulation is not one of the Beetle's strengths. The engine's distinct air-cooled hum permeates the cabin. You hear it, you feel it, and over time you grow to love it. It's an experience that adds to the connection between driver and machine. This isn't a vehicle that isolates you from the road. It immerses you in every rattle, every vibration, every nuance of the drive. Moving to the rear seats, space is predictably tight. The Beetle was never designed to be a family hauler. Adults can fit back there in a pinch, but legroom is limited and the upright seatbacks don't offer much in terms of long-distance comfort. What they do offer, however, is a great sense of space thanks to the Beetle's curved roofline and abundant windows. Visibility in this car is outstanding. The thin pillars and large windows make you feel more in touch with your surroundings, stark contrast to the bunker-like interiors of many modern vehicles. The rear bench seat can often be folded down to access a small cargo shelf behind it, leading up to the rear engine bay. There's no traditional trunk in the rear. Instead, cargo space is found under the front hood, where a modestly sized trunk sits alongside the spare tire and fuel tank. It's not spacious by any means, but it's enough for a weekend bag or a couple of grocery bags. One of the most charming things about the Beetle's interior is how little it changed over the years. From the 1940s through to the late 1970s, the fundamental layout remained consistent. Sure, materials improved slightly. Safety regulations added a few features like padded dashboards and seatbelts, and later models gained additional gauges and warning lights, but the soul of the interior remained the same. It's this consistency that helped build the Beetle's identity, a car that didn't try to be more than it was. Every surface, every switch, and every detail in the Volkswagen Beetle tells a story. It's a vehicle that was built to serve, to be affordable, and to be repaired easily. And yet somehow it managed to become more than that. It became a canvas for self-expression, a cultural icon, and a beloved member of countless families around the world. When we talk about future vehicles, it's essential to understand where we came from. The Beetle may lack the touchscreens and voice assistance of modern cars, but it offers something far more valuable: personality, simplicity, and an enduring charm that technology can't replicate. It reminds us that driving doesn't always have to be about features. Sometimes it's about connection, between driver and car, between generations, and across continents. So if you ever find yourself inside a classic Volkswagen Beetle, take a moment to appreciate the stripped-down elegance. Listen to the engine. Feel the mechanical purity. Look around at the honest, no-frills design. It's a reminder of how enduring good engineering and good design can be. Thanks for joining us here on Future Vehicles. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the machines that shaped our past and continue to inspire our future. Stay tuned, and as always, keep driving forward.